Hello.
I was just good to see you talk. Yes, hello. Friday evening, Loaded Mag, me, Daz, and Richie. Chris was on, but he's bailed out. Pete is on holidays, and he's watching the Newcastle game somewhere, which I think for those who aren't watching, last time we were chatting, we were 2-0 up and half-time.
2-1 half-time.
2-1 half-time with goals from, because I'm not watching.
Fraser, Longstaff, and Rowe pulled one back for Doncaster.
Okay, so there you go. So second game of the pre-season, and Newcastle in the lead. So welcome to everybody who is watching. Tonight we have got on one of our very, very good friends from Saudi. To be fair, he's the only one I do have in Saudi. I don't have any others. Yet. But I think if you'd gone back, 15, 16 months and you had spoken to the three of us on here and Chris and Pete and said we would be palling it up with a guy wearing a dress from Saudi Arabia, I would have said you're all mad. But we are, and he's turned out to be a really cool addition, not only to the team in NUFC Matters when we did the first worldwide show, but then with the match days and a lot of the other shows. Obviously, he does the LW Newcastle show on over in Saudi, of which I've been lucky enough to be his guest. So we said on Loaded Mag, it's probably time we returned the favour. So without any more messing, we bring you all the way from Saudi, from the lovely, lovely city of Riyadh, Alwaleed.
Sorry, Martin. There's going to be more messing. When I'm involved, there's going to be some messing. I just have one question, and I'll ask the question, and I'll bring on Alwaleed to answer it and take him off again. So my question is, what day is it, Alwaleed?
It's a Friday.
That's correct, Alwaleed. And you know what that means?
Yeah.
I had to edit it a bit. Add a bit to it. So no more messing. Let's bring on our guest. Here's Alwaleed. Welcome.
Is that you, Daz, inside the zebra?
That's me.
Yeah. Rumor is it's Chris and Daz. Yeah, Daz is at the back end.
Welcome, Alwaleed. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, hi, the lads. Thank you for hosting me. It's an honor, and I'm really happy to be with you guys. And actually, I always watching your show. Especially, my work is very far. It's about 1 hour in driving, so I always watch the show while I'm driving, and I'm really enjoying the road.
Watching while you're driving? Do you own like a Tesla or something? Do you?
Mostly hearing and a quick look. Yeah.
Okay. Because we would never advocate watching something whilst driving on a highway in Riyadh. We would. Obviously, there's no drinking and driving, so but we wouldn't advocate that. But well, listen, great to have you on, buddy. We always love chatting with you. And as I said at the start of the show, I've been fortunate enough to be on your show with yourself and the good L. So it was only right and fair, and I think at about time that we had you on. So, officially welcome to Loaded Mag. Great to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy, and I tried to get Mr. L, but he also have some. He's busy with some things, and he's away. And sometimes I didn't get him in my show. So.
Yeah, we heard when we tried to book the two of you. Yeah.
I was going to say, Ali, tell the truth. El's away learning Chris's dance moves from the zebra video, isn't he?
I heard his booking fee was twice the price, so that's why we didn't bring him in tonight.
I'm just flying through the comments there, lads, as well. Just people asking about the league, the code for the Fantasy Football League. I will share that. I have that ready to go. We might even just do a show on it first and then release the code. But we'll get that out before the season starts. Don't worry. Let's start the show, lads. And I kind of have a mixed bag of stuff. I'm going to take people, because it was a busy week. A lot happened. It's because we were on last Thursday, I think it was our last show.
Thursday,
Of course, of course, the protest happened first of all, and Chris from our group here on Load of Mag and Load of HQ, he went down to the protest along with loads of familiar faces from NUFC Matters, and of course Holly put up a sterling display and outside the Premier League offices and outside Downing Street. There you see Keith Patterson and Steve Wraith as well in that picture. But yeah, a great turnout, and it was a peaceful protest as well. As probably the most important thing as well, and just showed the passion by everyone going down. Alwaleed, I know you were doing a stream that day, because I did tune in after a bit of that. I didn't talk, but I was watching a bit of it. I was trying to get busy grabbing pictures to do different things. But what did you make of it yourself?
Regarding the protest?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, and it was really, I was so enthusiasm and excited, and I tried to cover it with all resources. And some people, they promised me that they will take live shots, but sometimes I believe they get so excited as well, and their hands was full. But I tried to Chris sent me some videos, and some people also sent me something, and I tried to download it during live, and it was a bit difficult. Actually, I'm proud from the Newcastle fans who went there, and I believe it's more than 300. They really show something very strong, and I don't know if I could say this strong show or a strong behavior or strong move by Newcastle fans. I'm not sure if I can say we have a strong act from arbitration. They postponed for 6 months or more. So I don't know if this is a reverse, or this is just it's like an answer for that. But really, we wreck them. We wreck their world, and we wreck the Premier League, and they really feel. I believe they feel shaky, and they feel really in much trouble. But I'm really proud from Newcastle, and here in Saudi Arabia, they were very tuning to what's going on, and they are proud from you guys, especially the one who went there and asked for this Saudi League takeover, and they were very proud of that and feel happy, and we still believe that all these efforts it will not be for nothing, and we believe that we will take over them.
And did it get much coverage, Alwaleed, the arbitration and that being pushed out? Did it get any kind of coverage at all in the Saudi press or anything, or was it just kind of more word of mouth, or was there anything on the media at all?
I try to. Usually, mostly on the Twitter and the news account. They mentioned that, they cover that. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked that it's going to be postponed. But the question is, we still want to know who was behind it, and who was wanted this postponed. Is it some people says, I'm speaking of Saudi fans, Saudi fans' opinion. Is it, as we understand from some journalists, is it because Newcastle club want this to start the cat first, or does it the Premier League, as we heard today from Keith Patterson, that there is a news saying it's the Premier League, they just want to teasing and annoying fan and annoying the clubs, or both of them? This is what make it very difficult.
Yeah, I saw that tweet from Keith today, and I suppose I kind of put the question to the lads in. It was like, does that mean the other bit he added onto the tweet was kind of had me thinking, is there some kind of deal trying to be worked out in the background here behind closed doors, and that's why it was kind of an amicable one-liner agreement message that went out? Really, that's the hope is. I don't mind if they keep it quiet as long as it happens, but yeah, I suppose and I guess we're all also waiting for the date on the CAT website, which I've opened in front of me as well. But to see what date appears there, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later, you know.
And some fans saying I think they are they are sport interesting, not because they are supporting Newcastle. They are just because it's Saudi involved. They're asking, okay, why they are not just say no and that's it? Why they keeping this play running for almost 2 years? And this is one of the major questions they're asking among the Saudi or Arab accounts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like me and Rich, we were kind of bouncing over this last night, and I'd said to the boys, like I've kind of not really said too much on the takeover and arbitration and everything else because it's really been annoying me. And I just kind of those that obviously we did the show early last week because I was away with the family last weekend, and just kind of zoned out and switched off from it all. I switched off from Twitter, switched off from the takeover, switched off from Newcastle. Had a really, really nice 5-6 days. Obviously glorious weather, but I think that very, very quickly, I think there's more to it than meets the eye. I don't think, certainly from Keith's tweet today, it would seem that it was more the Premier League. And I think if you look at the whole transparency and them not wanting it coming out, I think they're there's a bit in that. So it wouldn't surprise me if, as part of the arbitration, as per Keith's and a couple of tweets I've seen this afternoon, they got in front of the judge and the judge looked at the case and went to both the club and the Premier League. Listen, lads, this is a joke. Go sort yourselves out. And that's why it's been put on hold. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a deal done. Obviously, and Alwaleed can probably confirm. We've seen, information the last couple of days that Saudi have now got their own channel for broadcasting live Premier League. So I think things are still slowly clicking into place. The cat case, I suppose, really is the silver bullet in that, if that blows open the Premier League, and I've said this on the shows before, and Daz, Richie, you've heard me say this, Alwaleed, I think we said it before, the Premier League are not going to want to air their dirty washing in public. They're just not. So at some point, something has to give, and I think they will have a lot more that they will want to keep behind closed doors than Mike Ashley and the club will. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a deal done. I'm not in favour of waiting for the cat case because I had a kind of bit of a dig around that the last couple of days. The next cat case up, I think, is in October. They close stuff off, but one of the cases that is next to be run is from 2018. So they can take a good while. So, we're already frustrated enough without having to run through all of that. So for me, I think something has to happen, and hopefully we get the right side of it. And as Daz has said the other day, if it doesn't, just give us an answer, close it out, let's all move on, because we can't do another whole winter of this and going into another January window and everything else. So either make it happen or don't, and let it move on.
I think the only thing I would notice, as you mentioned, Martin, I've switched off a bit this last week. I think it looked so promising the way that we had the protest going on, and then obviously to have the arbitration put back so lamely. I think that was what annoyed me. But that also makes me think there's something going on. As you were saying, is there something going to get sorted out of court? Because that statement that was made, well, mutual statement as it's been put, that does not have any sort of Mike Ashley statement at all. Mike Ashley wouldn't be making a statement that
there's no fire behind it, which makes me think that it was the club agreed to it, because I think the Premier League knew that either they weren't going to win it, or that as part of the case pushing through, the judge was going to have it played out in the open. And I think when you've got something to hide, you look to try and delay it. And I think, somebody said there the other day, I read something which was, at the end of the day, to me, the very simple thing is the Premier League don't want to make a decision on this. They don't want to give a yes. They don't want to give a no, because it influences their partners, sponsors, everybody else. So I think what they've tried to do was park it last year, hoping PIF would walk away. It didn't happen. It's gone to arbitration. They thought Ashley would bottle it or PIF would walk away again. They haven't. And I think they've gradually been going down a path that they've just run out of road. So, talking to Alwaleed, talking to other people, it for me, despite, and I've seen people today going, well, why don't the Rubens and Ashley just buy it? That's not the deal. That's not the makeup of the deal. That's not how it's worked out. I don't believe for 1 minute, okay, if this drags into 6 months' time in January, will PIF reassess it and maybe look at the timelines and go, do you know what, lads, we've done 2 years. No way. We're out. I don't think they will. And I think at the end of the day, PIF, take away whether it's Bin Salman or whoever else, they're a strategic company who are investing heavily in major products and categories. And I still believe that at the end of the day, somewhere along the line here, regardless of the Premier League, money talks. And at the end of the day, from what I've seen from their investment portfolio, from the videos and what I've read on the Saudi 2030 vision and sports vision, PIF are not going to give up. They're not going to give up. It's just not their nature. And I don't believe it's Saudi nature either. Alwaleed can maybe correct me, but I think they are still more determined because they had the option to go the first time round and they didn't. So I firmly believe it will happen at some point, but I think we just need to zone out and let it do its thing.
I think the other two things I noticed as well, Mark. One, just obviously I was going to mention before you came back in, was, and I think it's gone under the radar a little bit, about Tracy Crouch making her statement yesterday that an independent regulator is needed. And the fact that she said that, and okay, the government, the DCMS have turned around and said, no, it's for the Premier League to make their decision. But her that indirectly saying that a couple of days later, saying we need an independent regulator, that's basically saying the Premier League as a governing body are fucked. They can't run their own shop. So that to me is another nail in the Premier League's coffin from the government by not directly getting involved in this takeover for transparency, but it's telling them, look,
it sends a
get
message.
the dominoes in line, knock them over, and let's move on. It's gone on too long. But the other thing that you were talking about, which I think was quite fit to deal with, you just mentioned about PIF, and as Alwaleed will probably back up, there was talk on Talk Sport about, I don't know if anyone heard the interview between Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Trevor Sinclair, where Trevor Sinclair was saying that the cost to buy West Ham would be possibly double to triple what Newcastle's worth. And actually, Simon Jordan turned on and said, "Not a cat in hell's chance. You're trying to tell me when Newcastle have got the same sort of infrastructure, the fan base, the stadium is worth 2 to 3 times less than what West Ham is because they're based in the northeast." He's hitting that 800 to a billion for West Ham. Now, I'm not being funny, and I know PIF are spot on business-wise, and they wouldn't just waste money away. Whatever happened, and I know they stayed there for the long term so far, coming up to 18 months, 20 months, however it is now, 300 to 340 million for Newcastle United is a phenomenal deal. No matter what type, even before COVID, it was a fantastic price. It's still a fantastic price. And I think business, it's too good of an offer to turn down, because with the structure and the plan they've got in place for this team, that will make a lot of money for them in the future, and it'll put them on the map within the footballing world and the Premier League. It's just too good a deal, full stop, for any of the parties to walk away. Mike Ashley would be pushing this through if every single member of that consortium was not on board still.
Alwaleed, you wanted to get in there, I think.
It's a little complicated information, but I will elaborate on all of that. First, the questions, the arbitration. Who wants it? Let's make the scenarios. If the arbitration postponed because a request of a Premier League, it's make you think, why is that? Is it they are sure that the separation, from perspective of Premier League, the separation, there is no separation between government of Saudi and PIF, according to them. Okay, at first, why did you didn't bring that up at beginning of the deal, when there was no red flag? Okay, why now? Well, everybody, all the fans know this now, so it's not a new thing. But I want to know why the Premier League want to deny or postpone the arbitration. As let's say they are the one who ask for it. Okay, they hide something. as you said, Martin, they hide something they want just to delay.
Yeah.
But is it that it will help them to finish this over if the arbitration decide? Now they are okay. They're happy of postponing for 6 months. What about the cat case? What they can do about it? It will be in public. So no favor of Premier League to hide their things they want to be hide. This is the scenario if they want to postpone. Are they sure maybe the cat will be delayed as well? This is also a thing. If we let's say now if Newcastle want to postpone for just example, they want to postpone the arbitration, so the cat go first. Okay, if they want to do this, make the cat okay. If we know that everybody now talking, okay, it's good to cat first. Okay, maybe this is right, but will be easier if the arbitration start? I'm talking if the Newcastle club want to postpone the arbitration, which for me it's there is a question there. If the arbitration vote for the separation and it's there is no enough layer from the entirety and etc., and the separation is there is a quite good separation, and we will have takeover already, so no need for that, or no need to care for that cat case. So something missing. This is what make the fans really crazy, and even myself.
Yeah.
So who wants it? Who wants the arbitration to be postponed?
Yeah,
I believe there is a dark. Really, when Mike Ashley says there's dark forces, it's really there is this dark forces. We should really there is a dark forces. There is side play with things, and if you see the closest people to the deal, Mike Ashley saying the dark forces. Merdad Qudusi said last tweet as comment said something. There is one party playing the games.
True.
So this is what I want to. We didn't know. This is I think this is just a speculation of the fans who want to postpone the arbitration. We make the both scenario. It doesn't make sense.
Cheers, Alwaleed. And yeah, I think just before we leave this topic, I think message to the Premier League: make a deal now, settle, then you can keep your jobs. Let it go a bit longer. Everything goes in public. Good luck. You're out of a job, I think, lads.
Yeah, I think there's also a piece, Daz, just to close that out. I just have a funny feeling that they were both at a point where they both club and Premier League thought they could win. And I think they've both gone to arbitration. Evidence has been put up. And I think the judge has just gone, do you know what? The both of you have nothing. You don't have nothing on the Premier League side, and you don't have anything on the club side. So we can let this run, but we're not going to be able to do nothing. Or you go away, take 6 months, sort this crap out between you. And I think genuinely that's where it's at the moment. That's where I think it's at. The other thing, just again, I just did want to say, and you may go back to the protest, you may not, but I did just want to say very, very quickly, I would like to give a massive, massive shout out to Holly, because I think she deserves a huge, huge amount of credit for a young lady her age to be able to pull that together, to speak so well on behalf of the fan base. And listen, you'll say there was X amount there, doesn't represent everyone on Twitter or on the ground, or blah, 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 blah. She stood up, she did something, she made an effort, and she tried to make change. And I think she has to be hugely applauded for not only making the effort, but stepping up, going out there, traveling to London with everybody else. But I think at her age, if I was her dad and her parents, I would be very, very proud of a young girl that age to be doing what she did. So I think massive, massive credit. And Holly Blades, absolutely an admiration. Well done.
We're all proud of Holly. Very proud. I just wanted to go. We're going to leave this topic now, lads. I just wanted to say to Dave Harrison that Yeah, PIF investing in the Formula 1 club. Archery is next for PIF, Dave. So keep your ear to the ground. There, it's coming. Okay, let's move on. And I want to go back to the actual football and the team. I want to talk about the announcement then of the change of numbers, where Joe Linton gets number 7. Wilson. We now have a proper number 9. Wilson gets number 9. Everyone is happy with that.
He's just scored.
He scored, has he? Great.
He scored. Newcastle is 3-1 up now.
Everyone was happy with that change except this guy. I actually followed him on Twitter after that, and I can't remember his name. But yeah, I'm sure they'll fix that.
Yeah, his name's on the shirt
in the club shop. Joe Linton, yeah. Club
are refunding it though, aren't they? They're letting you take your shirt back in, and they'll give you one. Change it over and put whatever on the back now. So if he goes back in and he changes it to 7 for Joe Linton, he needs to have a little shake of the. He needs to have a little shake of the head. To be fair.
Hey, well, he had the option already. Yeah. Okay, but just if you are still interested in the Takeover talk, tune in on Tuesday. We have a big one coming on Tuesday. We have this. Ben is back.
Ben is back.
So Judgment Day, the Terminator.
Ben Jacobs. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
So yes.
That was an interesting show last time because we got a good bit of traction on it, and we had I think Edit Kev or whatever the lad's Twitter handle is, kind of bounced a couple of clips of the show because anybody that did watch the show that we did with Ben the first time round, you had to be very clued in. But he actually, I wouldn't say the word change tune, but he did. Kind of leave a little bit of a leeway. Now, this is obviously before arbitration was halted and everything else. But he did make a very good point about, would the Premier League be able to prove that, there was not enough separation from PIF. Hey, Paul.
He still hates me.
Good man. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we've got Ben back on Tuesday. He's a bit like, I suppose, he's a bit like Steve Wraith. Marmite, you either love him or you hate him. But we're looking forward to having him back on. We will do the same as we did last time, which is we'll put the questions to him. But we will allow him to talk, and we'll let him give the facts as he knows it. And you'll take from it what you want, and opinions will be opinions. So join us Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for Ben Jacobs 2. Really looking forward to that because I quite enjoyed talking to him. There you go. Tuesday night.
Nice guy. Okay, let's move in another direction. Let's talk about rumors, departures, incomings, so on and so forth. But let's talk about departures first because we know Lejeune has gone to Alves. He was on loan last season. Didn't fit into Bruce's plans, I guess. It was a big favourite of Rafa. Of course, he also scored that memorable 2 goals when he came on against Everton. One of them being a bicycle kick, wasn't it, at one stage? But that comeback. He was for me. I was delighted when we signed him. He looks really solid. He has pretty lost pace, and he's similar to a lot of players we have. At the back, we do need to mix it up. We had a big conversation about this today. We so much so we said we could have a total show on that. But we might touch on it now here again. But let's talk about Lejeune first. Sad to see him go, lads. I'm sad to see him go, but we probably need someone with a bit of pace really to come in.
I don't know about you, Martin, but I think I still like Lejeune. I thought he was probably our best overall defender.
I would agree.
Man City had him there. Obviously, he was too fit in there, and obviously would loan out Girona where we got him from. But that season when Rafa had him, he just looked a different class. It just he read the game really well. I think people forget he had 2 serious knee injuries, and it takes a hell of a lot to come back from that. And I think the only thing that guts me about him leaving is I don't think Bruce really gave him a chance after he had to come back from his second knee injury.
I agree.
You look at some of the centre backs going, he's better than I would say. I still think all of them, but at least 3 of them, hands down. And to be getting rid of him first overall, I'm shocked. And for the amount of money that we got from rumours 3 to 4 million, that's an absolute snip.
Is that all?
It really is. Yeah.
3.5 million, I think he got.
Yeah, that's what's been branded. Yeah, 3 to 4 million. I just think it's, especially if we were talking about bringing Arya in, obviously before he went to Brentford. Look at 13.5 million to bring someone who isn't even Premier League experienced. Yes, he's younger, he's the Norwegian captain, but he could be a complete bust. We don't know. It's still an unknown. That's always the risk when you buy from the Scottish Premiership. But to be getting rid of someone with the experience that he had, both in the Premier League and La Liga, and to lose him for that much, you can't replace it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I know his pace is gone, but for me, you know,
if you've got a football,
he's a defender.
You don't need it.
You don't need that pace. If you've got somebody in behind you, you know, he could have put him in as a defensive player in front of a flat back four if he wanted to, and stretch to the 5 where we needed to. So I don't understand why you would want to get rid of one of your best, where our other options are the likes of Emil Kraft, you know, and other players. Listen, you know, as Dan said, we had a big talk about this today, right? And
here we go.
As I always
here
do, lambasted Lascelles, right? I don't want to see Jamal Lascelles anywhere near that team next season. I just don't. He's not a leader, not my captain. Said it all last season. I'll keep saying the fucking same thing all this season if he gets in the team. I just don't rate him. He's gone downhill, hasn't improved. It doesn't seem to care. So I would rather see other players there. So I think to get rid of Lejeune, you know, Bruce doesn't know what he's doing. Look, at the end of the day, the guy hasn't a clue what he's doing with players. So does it surprise me? No. I think it's a loss to the club. But look, we're going to have to rely on the likes of Fede and the rest of them. Daz on the horseman.
We'll have to think about that. We'll have to think about it. Yeah, am I that brave?
Yeah. So I listen. I wish the lad all the best. But yeah, I think it's a stupid sale. But there you go.
Cheers, Martin.
And I'm not going to rant massively, Julie, not till the season starts, and then I'll kick off about ourselves.
Alwaleed, your thoughts on Lejeune? Did you see him play much, Lejeune?
Actually, no, actually, because yeah. But when
he came first, he was really good.
He played well second half of the season in Spain, and he got man of the match against Barcelona, keeping Messi off the books. Yeah. You don't get that kind of stuff if you're not a half decent defender. You just don't. Crazy.
Yeah, I read about him that he's a great player, great defender, but Steve Bruce, you know what we can say.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about. We'll stick with outgoings, and this isn't official yet, but this is one I really don't want to see that happen, and it sets a bad precedent if it's confirmed. I don't think it's confirmed yet. Bobby Clark, Lee Clark's son, the wonder kid. Yeah, we don't want to see him leaving Newcastle. It's someone that even with the takeover, he could break into the team in over the next few years. You know, he's one to be interesting to see what happens to him. I don't want him to see him going to Liverpool, snatch one of our better young players. What do you make of this, lads?
I think it's a great. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I think it's a great move for him, and I'd be gone like a shot if I was him.
I'm just hoping the rumours, what the Evening Chronicle will say today, is true, that there's still an offer on the table from Newcastle. Apparently, they're hoping that with Steve Harper being the new academy director and his fantastic relationship with his dad, Lee Clark, that it's still he still might stay at Newcastle, which is obviously that's all we can do. We can't be letting people of that quality go for nothing. You know, as Dar said, you know, Geordie background, youngster, his dad played for the club. He'll have the black and white running through his veins. We cannot be letting players like that just walk away. They should be, you know, doing everything they can to keep them there, to be the future of our team and to be able to build a team around. You know, when a takeover goes through, we're still going to need, like Man City have done, they put millions and millions in, but they still had Phil Foden come through. People like that, you still need that local influence and stuff like that. And I just think it would be stupid to let them walk away completely.
Yeah, but the difference with City, Richie, is Pep will give the youngsters a chance. Sure, we've got Elliot Anderson sitting there, was scoring goals for fun in the under-23s, 2-3 times on the bench. When we had strikers while Wilson was out who weren't scoring goals, doesn't even get a 20-minute run out. So if you're a young prospect with the current manager and regime, why would you want to stay at a club that you know you're not likely to make it at the top and get into that 11? Why would you?
I think, to be honest, if it was me in that position now, I'd be in that, and I'd probably be speaking to my dad as well, who's got a lot of experience with football, and I'd be thinking, look, see what happens with this takeover. Even if he signs like another 1-year contract or something like that, and reviews it at the end of next season, we're going to know where the club's going, what sort of directing, what's going to be happening with the training facilities, what's going to be happening, who's going to be leading the first team. Is that person going to be someone who believes is giving you the chance? That's what I'd personally be doing. I hope his dad would be the advice to be giving him. But you know, that's football. Sometimes people just look at the here and now. And to be fair, Liverpool would be a fantastic move for the kid. And I wouldn't hold it against him if he did leave.
Exactly.
I'd be more disappointed that Newcastle are not doing anything to try and get him to stay and make and build a future around him. That's all that annoys me.
Yeah, just on Elliot Anderson, he should have gone on loan last season, but we didn't have the numbers in the squad. They were too scared to send him out on loan because what if situations, and like in turn Matty should have gone on loan, and then Matty would have come back this year and would have come into the team. But it's all linked to limbo. It's all linked to the takeover for me. All these little decisions that could be taken better.
To be fair with I think, hopefully with Shola Amiobi being in charge of has been a loan manager now, I'm hoping that the younger kids who do go on loan get a better, just because Elliot Anderson Elias Sorensen, he went on a few loans and he buggered them all up. He was sitting on the bench when he was at Blackpool. They thought it was going to be a fantastic move from because Sean Longstaff had been there the season before, and he dug up trees while he was there. But Martin's right. Elliot Anderson should have been playing when he came on the FA Cup third round at Arsenal, and he looked like things were going to happen as soon as he came on. Even though it was a third round of the FA Cup, but he wasn't given a chance afterwards. Yeah. These kids have got to be given a chance, and Bruce is he's more scared about losing his own job than blooding people who could influence. I'd have Elliot Anderson over John Joe Selvey in the middle of the park. I think he would run into the ground for the club. He's a local lad himself, as I mentioned with Bobby Clark. He's got black and white running through his blood, his veins. That's what he wants, and they should be given a chance. They shouldn't be allowed to walk away or just rot in the under 23s, because the under 23s is never going to bring them on.
I'm going to go to Alwaleed. And Alwaleed, did you ever see anything of Bobby Clark? I only saw little clips now myself, but and if not, don't worry about it, because I have another question for you.
What's the question?
Sorry, the first question is: did you ever see much of Bobby Clark playing? He's coming through the academy at Newcastle at the moment.
No, actually, no.
Not yet. That's okay. That's fine. I have another question for you then. My question for you then, Alwaleed, is who would you like to see coming in transfer-wise to Newcastle? Where do you think we need to strengthen?
Actually, I'm really care about Joe Willock. I wish if he came, not just for loan, for good, to be with us, because I believe he's the addition we need, and he proved himself, and that we're happy that Arsenal they go with Smith Rowe, and so this is more chances that maybe we get Willock, because I think they play the same spot in the squad, the lineup. So I really wish Joe Willock, and you guys know better about the defense line. We're still struggling in the left back. I say now Jamal Lewis playing against Doncaster, and I know that he didn't improve himself. Maybe he improved, but I don't know. Is he going for Richie to cover this left back as last part of the season, last season? So this is what worries me. But I really want Joe Willock. This is my number one. Choice. Second one, we need someone to. I wish Christian Ajer. I wish if he, but he went to Barnsley. I wish if he, we could have him. Yeah, but I wish if at least we can have someone instead of Shelby, or play same Shelby spot in the midfield, defensive midfield. We need someone, because we can see Shelby. I think he's also injured for a long time, and Hendrik, he's very have poor progress. So and Hayden, it will depend on Hayden. So we need really in this area. Also, I'm worried about the line. So 3 players: Joe Willock, someone in the midfield, and someone in defender, because we will go. It's look like we are gonna be the same, 4 or 5, depending on the game. So who your left back, who your center back? I think Steve Bruce is happy with the center back he have. Fernandez, Lascelles, and Clark, Kraft. I think he's okay with this. Jacob Murphy will stay on the right side. So I think the left back now. I think they will start. Is he will gonna keep Matt Ritchie in this for the second season in the row? This is what I think the 3 position. They are the fatal one. But my number 1 is now. I really wish Joe Willock, because I believe deeply if Joe Willock we have at least if only Joe Willock, hopefully we will not have suffering from. And I'm talking, as we know, the takeover will take more time to happen. So I think if Joe Willock we have him, we didn't gonna throw the suffering or the mess we went last season.
Cheers, Alwaleed. For me, I'd agree with you on Joe Willock. He's a priority signing for me as well. It'd probably be a loan with the option to buy or have to buy. I don't mind either way as long as we get him in some shape or form. Then I'd also look at second striker, because if Wilson gets injured, even the preseason game is on at the moment, that's it. We're screwed. I think we're definitely heading towards the bottom 3 then without having a backup striker. And with Chris's fanboy gone as well, we don't have that option anymore. He's currently out playing head tennis with Andy Carroll in the back garden. But Andy Carroll's gone, so we need someone to come in there. I don't know who. It'll have to be someone cheap or someone on loan from somewhere. Pay the wages. We need a backup option, or even if you wanted to go 4-4-2 or something like that, we need someone to complement Wilson. Then also, I think as well as Willock, I think we need another midfielder in there as well, to just not have Shelby as our option. So someone different. And then if we get that far in, if we got 3 signings and we're in dreamland, let's go for a right back. I know we've got Mankion and we've got Murphy, who's doing well playing there in a back 5. I'd go there, and then total dreamland, I get a pacey centre half in as well. So there'd be my 5 positions. Richie,
I think we had a brief talk on this on our chat today when it was like a bit prolonged, but I think we needed a striker, as we said, as you mentioned there, Daz. We've got no one to back up to Wilson if anything happens to him. And I'll be honest, I was a bit surprised that when I learned today that Josh King had gone to Watford, because I haven't been paying attention to any of the transfers. I still don't understand. When it was on a free transfer, he'd have been a fantastic backup, especially with the relationship he had with Wilson and with Fraser and Matt Ritchie. You know what I mean? I don't care whether they're all from Bournemouth or whatever. I really don't. I think he would have added something to the team over what we've got, because I don't really like going at the season with Muto and Gale behind Wilson as our 2 options. I really don't. So
Muto, yeah.
Doncaster have scored, boys.
Yeah,
the comeback's on.
Yeah. Right back, I do agree with you, Daz. I think Mankio is probably the only decent out-and-out right back we've got. Murphy did a fantastic job playing in a role he wasn't really familiar with. But all season when he was playing wing back, he did a decent job, and hats off to him. Once again another Newcastle fan, and he did what the manager asked him, played out of position, and did a pretty decent job doing it. I don't rate Emil Kraft. I think none of us do, to be fair. So I think the right back's needed. I would like to see another centre half. And the centre midfield. It's pretty much, if you look at really, it's the spine. We need some good spine in that team. As Martin said before, Lascelles, he's supposed to be our captain. Our vice captain, Shelby, and both of them I wouldn't have in our starting 11. I wouldn't have any of them in my starting 11. But the problem is, with it being captain and vice captain, it has to be the first name on the team sheet, unfortunately. And they shouldn't even be in the starting 11. So I would be looking for a spine to basically go for our team there through. What about you, Mark?
Striker Diego Costa's on a free agent currently.
We need that kind of bastard. Diego Costa. Yeah, we need him.
There's plenty there. From a defensive point, I know some people will. I said last season about Jack Wilshere, right? And Sam you know, who used to be on Ladies' Night, went, "Oh dear God, no!" But like, what have we got currently in the middle of the park? If we don't get Willock, you know, what's next? I said last season, the lad from Chelsea who was on loan at West Brom, Conor Gallagher, thought he was a cracking player. They're the kind of players we should be looking at. Tammy Abraham, he's not gonna get full games at Thingy. We should be chasing him. Ross Barkley's been mentioned again today. I'd take him in a heartbeat over John Joe Shelby. I think the other thing, Lewis, you know, I think needs more game time. I think he will come on. He's an absolute player. But I'd like to see him on that left-hand wing further up. Playing him at that left wing-back position, it's too deep. He's non-effective there. The games he played for Norwich, he was another 40 yards up the pitch. So play him further up at the left on the left wing. The other thing, you know, middle of the park worries me. The goals, if Wilson gets injured, I think we're just relegation fodder. But one of the biggest ones for me this season is Ryan Fraser has to step up, stop being a feckin' diva, right, with a miserable face on him, and play ball. He's getting paid a handsome salary. Step up and start to play. Now, obviously, he scored tonight, so let's hope he has a decent pre-season. Our medical team don't ruin half the team with muscle injuries and tears. I see we've hired a sports scientist now, so we've now got somebody who knows how to play Football Manager, right? If we can keep players fit, we might do all right. But for me, Ryan Fraser is one of the biggest ones this season that has to step up and play like he can, and he does for Scotland.
He could be like a new signing for us, Mark.
It could be.
Oh, we'll hear that.
There's other players out there defensively, and I know they're a little bit older, but like Gary Cahill was released. I know he's 34, but he would bring you a huge amount of experience.
The leadership, yeah.
And leadership, captaincy. The job he did with Palace. Scott Dan is 34, is on a free. You could bolster your defence very easily to get you through another season if that's what it takes to get a takeover. But Bruce won't do that. You know, we more chance of seeing fucking El Mohammadi coming in, who's 33, by the way.
I wouldn't go for either of those options, I'm afraid, Martin. I just, even if I was playing Football Manager on a budget, I still wouldn't bring them in now. I know what you're saying. Leadership,
but if you have no money, Daz,
if you have no money,
and you're only rocking with loans and free agents, you have to take what's out there.
He's got to throw something into the kitty come towards the end of that transfer window.
I just want to say something about El Mohammadi. He went to PN as a reporter or something. He just joined them.
He must have been does he?
Very good.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. I don't think he will play in Premier League.
He have nothing to do with Newcastle, then, will he?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, we'll sign him now for sure.
Yeah. Just says there as well. Messi's still available on a free. Yeah. I don't think we've got the salary range, Chips.
I did for this section as well. I did. We're not going to go into it now, but I did bring up players that were linked to other clubs. Like we can see Hayden go. We don't want to see St. Maximin go. Woodman on loan, that might be revived. Lejeune is gone now, and Matty Longstaff. Will he get his loan?
I think he'll keep a hold of players because I think we don't have the squad numbers. It'll be the same as last season, and Bruce is already talking that up. It's about getting that 25 of a squad. So I think. Yeah. I can't see them bringing in a striker. I think he'll look at it, as I said on the chat today, he'll look at it, he'll go, I've got Wilson, I've got Mudo, I've got Gale, and I could always push ASM or Miggy into that and put Fraser out wide either side or even push Richie up or Lewis. So I don't think he'll bring in a striker. I think he'll either be looking at defenders or mids. I don't think we'll bring a striker in at all, lads. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, there's talk of that guy from the bottom one there, Jens Kajush, from the Swedish lad. Down about his name was linked recently, and of course there was weren't you mentioning as well, Martin, the potential Shelby move to Watford?
Yeah, talk of him going to Watford, and he's out of the squad. I know he's injured, but yeah, he wants to go back. A few of these
have happened as well since, like Townsend has now gone to Everton, and so on. But yeah, Conor Gallagher, yeah, I liked him last season. I wonder will Chowdhury come back into the picture from Leicester, who was. Linked with it as well.
That may not happen if Maddison goes to Arsenal.
But then Maddison going to Arsenal will free Wilk up. So yeah, domino effect all around. We'll see.
Exactly. I think you'll see movement the last week. I don't think we'll see anything before, but listen, I could be proved wrong.
Okay, we'll move on from that topic. And it's 3-2, isn't it, in the match in the friendly?
So that's 3-2.
That's
still 3-2
against Doncaster. That's nice. There's another friendly on Tuesday, and then Burton on probably the Friday, and then the last one is against Norwich. If I remove a banner, that's coming up, and that's right before the start of the Premier League. Great. Lads, I'm going to leave it open to you. Anything else you want to bring up and have a think about that? And I'm going to tell everyone to make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and if you want to leave some comments in YouTube as well, more than welcome. We try to get back to you as well on those. And thanks for watching. So, anything else, lads, you want to bring up from the week that you want to discuss? I can bring up the squad and say who would you want to get rid of.
No, I think there's enough spoken about that squad and players. I think it'll be interesting. Trolls makes a really good point there. Conceded 3 goals in 2 games, so defensively still shaky and leaky as we already are. So yeah, look, I'm not looking forward to the season, and I think Paul off the Toon review, I know he hates Daz, but that's fair enough. But if you haven't by chance watched Paul's video from this morning, he did a quick pod, just about as we have spoken on this podcast, about trying to bring the pods together and about as a fan base being united rather than divided. People hopping off the back of each other, whether you like Loaded, whether you like the Toon review, whether you like Newcastle Fans TV or Gallagher Shots or Steve Wraith or whatever. We all want the same thing. We all want the best for our club. We all want Newcastle to do well. That's what we want. No, Paul, that's a lie. You told me the other day you do hate him. But
I'm glad I commented.
Paul's point this morning was that it's pre-season. We've played a couple of games, but there's absolutely no enthusiasm. There's no optimism. And I'm really struggling to look at the season and go, what is there to look forward to? We don't know what's going on with the takeover. We're still stuck with Ashley and Bruce. Not performing great so far in pre-season. Nothing happening with players. New home shirt's got a big fucking number 4 on the front of it. And it's just... I totally get his thing this morning. It's just like, what is there to look forward to with this club at the minute? And it's for such a devoted fan base. I mean, it's Friday night. There's over 3,000 down at Doncaster watching the game tonight on a Friday night. People who've paid for their tickets to go and watch Bruce Ball, and I just think. Paul's point is absolutely right. The club is in an absolute shambles. But the one thing that we have to do between podcasts, lads that love the club, girls that love the club, this season, no matter what happens, as a fan base, we have to stay united and be united.
Martin, just want to say something here, just for Paul's comment there. Paul, you got a text.
Oh, Daz is going on the horseman.
He knows that. He knows that. Sorry, Richie. I think did you want to get in there?
No. I was just the only thing I was going to mention earlier on when Martin mentioned about Brit had the bought a sports scientist. The other thing I've seen quite a few times recently is about how they've got this new fantastic scouting system that they've been using over the recent years and stuff like that.
Football manager.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I'm thinking, do you know what? You can have all these stats in algorithms put together to make up these. What's wrong with just going out and watching someone? I think, how many times do we watch football games? Not just Newcastle. We watch loads of things, and you can tell a good footballer. And it just annoys me all these things, like by saying, yeah, look, he's got this. And they're basically using an upgraded version of Football Manager, and it does my head in. The scouts have still been able to go out to some of these behind closed games last season and stuff like that. They should have an idea who they're buying, what budget they had, and they should have done it by That's all I was saying. In regard, going off what Foster just mentioned out, the Newcastle shirt, the shirt's class. It's just a stupid, shitty sponsor that ruins it. It's the sponsor that gives that shitty number retro 4 on the front.
Buttons, if they'd made the button bit black and it had a blue star or the brown nail badge on, it would be 100% perfect.
You're a bit biased there on that one, though, Richie.
No. Just I don't like the sponsor. The sponsor ruins it. Yeah. No bias aside there, Daz.
Alwaleed, I'm going to go to you, give you a chance to speak as well. What do you? I know it's just the second preseason game, early days. The transfer market hasn't kicked off yet. Are you looking forward to the season ahead? Are you expecting it to be exactly the same? Because we're in exactly the same position as we were last season, and right now, and it's like last year never happened. So, are you looking forward to it, Alwaleed?
Actually, I am, and it's like really, it's like a déjà vu.
Yes.
And yeah, I think it's I don't know, guys, better. You're following the club since you're kids, but I believe with Mike Ashley, he just wants to make late decisions. We do this sometimes here in like my club. Sometimes when we have a question, why he didn't sign this player or why he didn't bring this, they just wait for final minute. Because the negotiating of the number of the money, because this put pressure on the club, so they just want to make the late decision to add more pressure for other clubs to decrease the loan money, and not like for example now City will bring Harry Kane. I hear almost 200 million. So this is the thing. They just want to make last decision. It's cheaper, and. I'm really looking for the season, really. Regarding the takeover, really, this is, we all sad about this, but it's the good thing, it's not over yet. It's not over. So we should be, it's taking longer. Nobody see this coming, but let's see, this deal is, it's full of hiding things, or we are not, really, we miss this transparency. We're really out from things, but I believe things will happen in our sake soon. But we need now the positive push, and we're still waiting this positive push. And I really hope. I hear that some DM I received taking the PIF walking away, or some question regarding this. For me as a fan. I just, in my opinion, I don't think they just care about Newcastle. They will not walk out of this, and we can see that as long as Amanda and Merdad, BCB and Robin Brother still in the game, that means PIF still in the game. It's a really tough one, but we didn't wait for this to walk away, I believe. So we just have to wait a little longer.
Full time, lads. 3-2 win to Newcastle.
3-2 win to Newcastle. Oh, we won a game in pre-season, but it doesn't matter. It only matters when it comes to the game against West Ham. And exactly. Everyone getting a run out. I think we'll bring the show to a close. Just want to
what's coming up next week?
Yeah, exactly. To say what's coming up next week. So on Tuesday, as we've mentioned, we've got Ben. Ben is back for Judgment Day. So that should be interesting. There'll be a lot of takeover talk on that one. So join us for that on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Then on Wednesday, we have, Richie, you mightn't have seen the poster yet. We have the Raz. So Richie, tell us about this.
Yeah, so the fourth episode of Loaded Lounge on Wednesday night with the Raz. Got in touch with them via one of our very good friends on Twitter, who is now their manager. I think if she's going to come on and co-host the show as well, I believe Martin might be making a guest appearance as well.
Might, yeah.
Yeah, so we've the guest host that we're hopefully she's going to come on with the band manager now is if you haven't seen him on Twitter, it's Shiner Sam. Go and check her out.
Not in a weird way though, we might add.
No.
Don't be.
And now
Chris
she's
Hall,
not
if you're
coming on the
listening.
show.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
she knows about Martin.
Okay, that's cool. That's Richie's something to look forward to on a Wednesday. Then this day next week, I have a little promo video that I'm going to run that you haven't seen yet, lads, unless you've glanced at it before the show. But and I probably should have ran this past the lads before I played it live. But hey, what the hell? Let's go for it. This is next Friday, 8 o'clock.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Very good. That's very good. That's probably one of the better ones you've done, Daz. Some of the other ones have been shite, but that's a good one.
Hey, thanks, Martin. Thanks.
I think Steve will like his segment, but I'm not too sure Mitch will like his.
Yeah, there are a couple
I know
of
he's a
ropey
dentist.
pictures of Mitch there, to be fair.
So I think Daz out.
I agree.
Oh, did you guys?
That's the new hashtag.
I'll have to go on that show.
Daz out. Yeah, that's it.
I'll have to go on the show and ruin it now for him.
Do you know that I think from a channel perspective, next week has a potential to be a really good week. Because we have been making a good bit of traction, and we must say before we finish up, the likes of Alwaleed coming on, Mitch and Steve next week, and hopefully a few more as we move on. We probably can't forget where we came from, which was NUFC Matters. And I know, we don't mention it all the time, but obviously the gang that was on there when we started off, Steve giving us a go, we owe a lot to people, and a lot of the people that are watching tonight, the likes of Trolls, Dave Harrison, Yano, Julie, people like that, even Paul from Toon Review, other people that have joined us, we wouldn't be sat here having the crack and be able to do this and sit and enjoy ourselves and have a chat and have the banter on a Friday with you. So keep watching, and we do really, really appreciate it. So thanks very much for spending time with us, and stick with us. We're trying to Shawshank, Chips, that's next. Yeah, well, we need to have a look at version. It'd be interesting, Chips, to see what they come up with on the Horseman for Daz now, because there's a few lucky likeys there now you could be working away with, mate. But anyway, thanks very much for watching us, folks, and we do appreciate it.
Nice one, Martin. I think we'll leave it there for the night.
Thanks,
everyone, and thanks especially to Alwaleed for joining us as well.
Yeah, thanks, Alwaleed.
We'll get you back, and we'll get you back on the show. And I have to come on your show. I'm saying it live, so I will happen.
Yeah, there's two promises: the Horseman and Alwaleed. There you go. You heard it here
first.
Lads.
Right, everyone. Take care.
Have a good evening, folks.
Good night.
See you later. Good night, everybody.